Mike Moore Media.
Debbie Moose in Raleigh is on the line, our favorite time of the month when we visit. Hey, Debbie, how you doing?
I am great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great as well. We're talking about vegetable fritters today on the program.
Well, we've had such a wonderful summer for vegetables and fruits. I don't know about where you are, but it's been just amazing here with
too.
The abundance of everything. The peaches have been unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
The corn's been great. And, it's fall will come eventually, and, those goodies are going to be slowing down. And we talked about the tomatoes before we came on, how good the tomatoes have been.
Yeah, loving them, though. Loving those tomato sandwiches. And tomato salad. You're doing a lot with salad, tomato and salads, too.
Yeah, just the classic tomato and mozzarella cheese with some olive oil on it. And I have some basil growing in the yard, although it's getting kind of sorry looking. There's still some out there, and put some of that on top, and that's a good lunch. Maybe put a few red onions on there if I've got them, and it's just, so many good vegetables. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I end up with a little bit of this or that in the refrigerator.
Right, sure.
Maybe, a few pods of okra or a couple of ears of corn or something like that. And
a couple of squash.
Yeah, a couple of squash. You can always do a stir fry with some of that, which I'm probably going to do for dinner tonight, actually, with some of the things in the fridge. But some of these, it's really good to make some fritters. And it's really easy to do that. I like to make corn and okra fritters, particularly. And it's just some corn off the cob, and then you chop up the okra and combine that if you've got some bell pepper, if you've got some onions. And I usually throw a little bit of chili powder in there. And then you use some flour and some eggs to hold it all together, and just fry that up in your skillet.
Oh, that sounds good.
Well, anything fried, of course.
Sure.
Okay. So it makes a real nice side dish. And then another thing I really like to do with that is put some chopped shrimp in it. Shelled, uncooked, taken out of the shell, chop it up, and add that, or even some mild fish, like a trout or something like that, something that's kind of a mild flavored fish. Cut that up real fine and mix it in with the fritters, and then you've got a meal fritter as well.
Yeah, right. We've got some real fritters going on now.
Yeah, you got some serious frittering going on.
Yeah,
and I have a recipe for trout and corn fritters in my cookbook, Carolina Catch, all about North Carolina seafood. And they're real easy to make. And, you've got, like I said, you've got a little bit of corn, you got a little bit of okra, those kind of things. You can just put them together and be sure to use, a balanced amount of everything. If you've got a lot of corn, then, don't put so much okra. If you've got a lot of okra and not as much corn, you can balance it out however you want. And the couple of eggs in there with some flour, and that will hold it together. And don't make the patties too big, the fritters too large, because especially if you have some shrimp or fish in there, it'll take them kind of a long time to cook. So don't make them too big, maybe about a good-sized tablespoon worth of the batter, and put that in the oil, and then just kind of flatten it out a little bit with the back of your spoon.
Okay.
And it doesn't take long at all. Now, have you ever had fritters? Ever eat fritters?
I don't recall right off. I've had things that sound like fritters, but I don't. Maybe it didn't have that particular label on it there. I've had corn fritters, and but what you're giving us today with that recipe sounds mighty tasty to me.
It is, and it's easy. if you have, the little bit of vegetables in there. Now, I'm not sure I would put squash in there. I think squash has too much liquid.
Okay, all right.
But you can always fry those slices of squash by themselves.
Oh, sure. Oh, that's so good, too.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just do them by them alone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I don't feel like these really need any kind of a sauce. But I guess if you wanted to, we were talking about tomatoes. You know what I bet would be good?
Mm-hmm.
Some finely chopped, really, really fresh tomatoes. When you serve them, just put some fresh tomato on top.
Oh, yeah.
With a little bit of salt. Can't beat that. Can't beat it with a stick, like my daddy used to say.
That's exactly right. And you wouldn't want to. That's rude. Okay. Well, so vegetable fritters, it's that time of the year to kind of get the odds and ends together and make that up. It sounds good.
And the thing about anything that you fry, I like to drain them on a rack over a plate instead of laying them down on a paper towel.
Yeah, I know you.
Then when you do,
you've mentioned that before. Yeah, that's a good idea always, isn't it?
Yeah, because when you think about it, if you lay them down on a paper towel, then they're just kind of sitting there in all that grease. It's not really draining. And put them in a warm oven while you're cooking the rest of them, because I think these are best when they're warm. And when you eat them the day you make them. I've tried to, leftovers are always good, but they do lose a little bit the next day if you try to use them as leftovers. So you need to eat them all right when you're sitting there.
Yeah. Don't let them stay around too long. Yeah. Don't fritter your time away there and
that's right.
Enjoy them now.
Don't fritter away your fritters.
No. And which brings up something else, because I know you are a fiddler. Do you sometimes fiddle when you fix your fritters?
Fiddle and fritter at the same time? Well, I think that would be fatal.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I hear you.
Too much popping oil.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of popping oil,
yes,
that's something I should point out to you when I'm sure you're going to run into your kitchen and make these.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to right now.
Fresh corn, the fresh corn in there, the corn has a lot of liquid inside of it. So when you put these into the oil, they're going to pop some as they cook. They're going to pop and spatter a bit, so just be aware of that. Stand back a little. So the fritters won't attack you a little bit, but they will pop some. So just be careful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so noted.
And I think a lot of people don't think about, doing vegetables like this, and it's really good that way. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've all eaten fried, sliced fried okra, right?
Right. Yeah, love it. Mm.
Oh, you like that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What do you put on it?
Just fried and eat it.
Just fried and eat it.
Oh yeah, that's fine with me. Just plain and simple. I'm a simple kind of guy.
Yes, I've gotten that impression over the years, Mike, that you are a simple sort with simple needs.
I was afraid you're going to say, with a simple mind, but thank you for being so kind.
You can make that inference, yourself. But
I get it. Simple. Uh-huh.
I mean, what you're talking about is like okra popcorn. There's not, and that's great. The fried slices with salt on top. It's okra popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, of course, we're going to love that.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for sharing all of this good stuff with us today, as always. And I don't know if you have anything else before we end up. We've got about 3 or 4 minutes here, but do you make? You probably already know the answer to this, but someone has given me a jar. They just made 70-some pints of salsa, and they've given me one of the hotter ones with the ghost peppers and some other pepper in there. Oh, Debbie! Oh, this is so good. I'm going to have some of my chips here in just a little bit at supper time. But I bet you make your own salsa, don't you?
No, I never have actually. But that's homemade salsa.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's fresh. It's all the fresh stuff in it. You're talking about the vegetable. The peppers and the tomatoes and the onions and the peppers and all of this stuff. Oh gosh.
Oh.
Now, I don't.
That's another great thing to do with all those tomatoes is
Yeah.
make some salsa. But ghost pepper, they're not fooling around.
No,
If they put
and
ghost
you know,
pepper in
normally
there.
I don't go for real hot stuff, but it's really not that hot. You know, like you were saying earlier, eating so many tomatoes and the acid, my lips are feeling it, but it's not that hot. I mean, it really is good. So there
Well,
again,
it'll sneak up on you. I mean, we don't want to fool people here. I mean, ghost pepper is one of the hottest
it is.
hot
It is.
peppers that there is.
Yeah.
If you look it up online and see the ratings, it's hotter than habanero.
I know, yeah. So that's why I was surprised why I like this so much. I have a friend, and I want him to try it and give me his level of hot here on this. Because is there such a thing as a mild ghost pepper? Maybe not. They're all hot.
I doubt it.
Okay, all right.
I
Okay.
doubt it. I don't know right now off the top of my head which is hotter, the ghost pepper or the Carolina Reaper. They're both pretty hot.
Yeah.
I think the Reaper might be hotter, but I'm not sure. But anyway, they're both pretty darn hot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it must be a milder something there for me. And one more thing before we get away. When are persimmons ready?
Oh gosh, it's probably going to be a little while.
Is it okay?
On that because that's more of a fall kind of a fruit, I believe.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Probably later on in September, well, depending on our weather, as to whether you'll see those.
Okay.
Now, figs have been all over the place this year.
Yeah. I was on your Facebook page a moment ago, and you're talking about figs and Adam and Eve and all of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, because for the last couple of years, I haven't been able to get enough figs from anybody to make any jam. And this year, my friends have been calling me, do you want to come pick these?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So good fig season.
We're having a good year for vegetables and fruit.
We really are. And I hope people are getting out and enjoying the bounty from the gardens. It's so good.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to have a good apple season too when cool weather finally gets here. So, we're so lucky in this state. We're so fortunate to have so many different kinds of fruits, vegetables, the seafood that is available. I bought some fantastic shrimp the last couple of weeks from the coast. Mm-hmm. We owe it to ourselves to enjoy it, and we owe it to the people that produce all that for us to enjoy it.
We do indeed. Yes, so thanks to them. All righty, well, our time is winding down, but I will mention your cookbook there, Carolina Catch. You'd mentioned it earlier, but go to Debbie Moose on Facebook, and there's your picture. There you are, and all kinds of good information posted here at Debbie Moose on Facebook. Thank you, Debbie.
And anyone ever has a question about anything or even wants to email me, they can go to debbiemoose.com and my website and do it through that.
Okay.
And thank you so much for having me on here to chat with you. It's always such a treat.
Oh, same for me, too. We should do it more than once a month. It's full moon time, so it's full moon program here today. All right, with Debbie Moose. Once in a blue moon, we'll talk again. Thank you, Debbie. All right.
Thank you.
Have a good week. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
That's our friend Debbie Moose in Raleigh. And again, her Facebook page, simply Debbie Moose. Please visit it soon.